shine even down here in the park. Jesus loves me.
Hey, Bella.
I pour it for you, Father. It's what you like. I observe all his commandments. I'll do what you say. I'll do what you say.
I came here to be a star. Not too late. Not too late.
I'm sorry, Father. I'll do what you say. I'll do what you say. I'm sorry, Father. I'll do what you say. I'll do what you say. Why have you forsaken me? I'm sorry, Father.
Never play a man for the short con when you can play him for the long one. Atlas is the longest con of all. Ryan wanted Frank Fontaine dead. I just gave him what he wanted. As Atlas, I got a new face, a clean record, and a fresh start. Now, it's time to take back Rapture. Officer McClintock, what are you doing here? Let me just turn this off.
We went on a raid outside the wire today. We snagged 31 rounds of buckshot, 4 frag grenades, a shotgun, and 34 Atom. We lost McGee, Epstein, and Vallette. We got one of those goddamn big daddies in the bargain, though. It was something awful they had to do to that little girl to get the Atom, but we didn't start this thing. Ryan did. I can't wait to tell Atlas. He'll be so pleased.
For the Bible tells me so. Little one, two. I'm sorry, Father. I'll do what you say. I'll do what you say.
Not so quick, kid. I still got enough of a leash on that brain of yours to keep you from getting any closer to my roost.
You think Ryan's gonna be there for you when you're down and out? No! Fontaine! Fontaine's the man with the helping hand!
A rapture reminder. Wanting an item from the surface is forgivable. Buying or smuggling one into rapture is... Stay on the line.
Whenever anyone walks by the airport, they fall upon their house.
Father, why have you forsaken me? Jesus loves me, this I know. Hold it! Heretic! Right down here. You're wrong. I'm not a bad
What's that? I've come! You call the king! I see. My face! Get off!
us!
Clinical Trial Protector System, Plasmid Lot 255. Dr. Suchong, client Ryan Industries. Very frustrating day. I can't seem to get the damn big daddies to imprint on the little brats. The protection bond is just not forming.
Papa Suchong?
Get away. Maybe if I modify the genetic sequence... Shush! Sure! The sequence to allow... Get away, you filthy little shit! What? What are you doing? Get it back! Get back!
Now you are having freedom. Suchong's drugs should have no hold on you. Take the bathysphere to Point Prometheus. It is time for this matter to be settled.
You want me to teach you that? I wore it for you, Father. Which would you like?
But laying all your chips on Mother Goose, it's not like you never been double-crossed before. You know what I'm saying? Hoof it to Point Prometheus. We'll discuss this like men. You, me, a submarine topside, and more at him than you can possibly imagine.
Iconic and haunting, the Big Daddy and Little Sisters of BioShock immediately captivated the public's imagination. Big Daddy encounters defined the BioShock experience, creating new mechanics and techniques that had not been seen before in gaming. So Big Daddy, Little Sister, such an iconic moment or series of moments in this game. I'm fascinated about how that got layered in, because we talked a lot about the setting and the tone. That is still, to me, a mechanic that I remember was very unique about, choosing to engage the Big Daddy and being a fight that is going to be very aggressive and different than a traditional boss fight. I know you had an idea, Ken, of sort of 3 different types of AIs interacting in the same world.
Yeah, we were sort of like I was trying to think of like AIs you hadn't seen before, and this is still pretty early. Like 10 years ago, a lot's changed in 10 years. So like AIs were still pretty much enemies who saw you and came after you.
Zigzag, shoot.
Yep, and then that was really the focus, is how you make them, use AI better at you. So I started thinking about, are there more primal behaviors to think about? And I was watching a nature show one day, these typical nature shows, and it's like observe the mother tiger taking care of her young, one of those kind of things. And I realized that we don't even need a narrator on those shows. We understand certain behaviors just by looking at them. They're very primal, like somebody protecting their young, the predator-prey behavior. Those things were you don't need dialogue for that. And AIs at that point, we didn't have the ability to do a lot of sort of, smart AI. Yeah. So I said, what if their behaviors are just very primal, and we can model those behaviors? So aggro rules is something we knew we can model, right? How does an AI aggro on you? What are the rules for that? Could they make a aggression display rather than just attack? And can another character appear afraid and hide behind the skirts of another character? And we started talking about these things, and the Big Daddy became very quickly, the actual form of the Big Daddy became very quickly as sort of this protector creature. The Little Sister took a lot longer, ironically, even though it's a much simpler notion in a lot of ways. The initial idea came out of sort of watching a nature show, and we're trying to work within our constraints of we couldn't make super complex AIs.
That's the Big Daddy. She got it on him. He keeps her safe.
Because when we first got the system up and running, this is before the play test, we weren't really thinking about player facing these things. And we had this entire system set up that completely simulated what would happen. And you'd play through the vertical slice, and you walk into a room and everybody's dead, because the system would work perfectly. And you weren't there to see the fight. Yeah.
And we track they weren't called Little Sisters at the time, but we track how much they were harvesting, and it was all like a Command and Conquer level simulation.
Yeah.
And players didn't care or notice.
Yep.
And so we just abandoned all that stuff.
Yeah, so that took us a step towards, how do we present this to the player, then how do we make the the gatherers, which we called them at the time before Little Sister design came on. Like, how do we make them empathetic towards the player? How do we make the player want to engage with that? Because at the time they were just slugs.
Right.
So which is a
That's
horrible
right, Little
design.
Sister originally were slugs, right?
Yeah.
Not actually.
Which is a horrible design in so many ways because you don't care about slugs,
Right.
and they're also on the ground, so you don't see
Yes,
them.
yeah.
They're not like at eye level, and they're dark. So
But
it
you
was,
still have
yeah.
some. We still the trailer had like the same, or not the trailer, the demo, or prototype we did. So had the Big Daddy sort of like interacting with the little
Yeah.
slug.
Ah,
And-
well, slugs crawl around the Big Daddy? Or what
no,
was
it's
that?
just it's this awful
That's a
little
level of
mesh.
sophistication.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like a little beetle sort of.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
It was terrible.
yeah.
And they were protecting
And they had
Protecting the beetles.
the beetles? What?
And, no,
Really?
and
the
it
Big
was
Daddies
so
had two drills.
It's-
They didn't have a hand, so they could. There's no way they could
Right.
like.
It's just fascinating me because like the Little Sister, it's like there's such humanity in it, which you really connect with.
You would,
Which
Think of,
seems
a
like
little-
you would
a
think
smart
that would
thing
be
to
the
go straight
obvious thing.
to.
Yeah.
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 We're not very smart.
The idea of sort of choosing to engage the Big Daddy. I mean, when I was first time I played the game, I mean that was always profound to me because you sort of sit there and like, am I ready for this? And your choice to sort of like, the kind of opposite of stealth, like when you want to be discovered. Was that always the mechanic with the Big Daddy?
Yeah, the idea was that they would have very particular rules about engaging with you that were entirely dependent on how the threat level towards, not them, towards their creature they were protecting.
Yeah, that was set. And then as you worked through it, I'm sure there were conversations about how difficult do we make these fights and sort of the balancing of that. And even, with the game, you don't start off with a Big Daddy fight. It's a little ways into the game until you actually get to that. So that was sure debated.
You actually encounter the notion of Big Daddy and Little Sister many times before you actually are freed into an arena where you can actually fight them. You see them.
Sneaking out, pipes. Yeah.
You see them. You see them walking down a hall. The first time you see Little Sister, she's harvesting, and then you see the Big Daddy come and protect her. And we realized it was 4 or 5 sequences we had to do to set the stage for these characters. And look, we were hoping they'd be iconic and people would respond to the way they did, because we certainly spent energy on them with the expectation that they'd have an impact that we really just as easily could have turned out that nobody cared.
I think the actual very first time, and not a lot of people see it, there's a Little Sister in the vent in Kashmir restaurant that if you're looking in the right direction at the right time, you'll see her looking at you, and then she'll disappear into the vent.
Just the eyes.
No,
right?
it's the actual mesh.
Is it the mesh?
Because it was easier to do that
Right.
than new eyes, but yeah.
No! 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 Thank you.
The path of the righteous is not always easy.
The thing as you play through the game, I think the moments with those sort of encounters certainly stand out to the player. For you guys, as you were developing it, was there a debate about how often to sort of have those encounters? Like, like how many Big Daddies would there be? How would that play out? I mean, was that something that sort of changed as you?
No, I think we decided there would be 3. I think it was 3 per level.
So 3 and 2 in smaller levels. We did have a third Big Daddy that was mostly finished, but we couldn't make it fun. Like that last 10% of an AI is always like, where's the fun? Like, how do you really make
They
it
put it
fun?
into. I think they put it into BioShock 2, didn't they?
They might have, yeah.
They might have. I don't know.
But it was fully rigged, fully animated, but we just didn't have the time we needed to really, really polish it. So we ended up shipping with the bouncer and Rosie.
Hunting the Big Daddy, that demo was a huge moment, I think, in the game's kind of marketing campaign. And that really, I think, sold the tension of that battle. When you showed that, did the entire game feel like that, or was that really more of just like a vertical slice of what you wanted the game to feel like?
That at that point was more what we wanted to feel like, because the Big Daddy had a lot of problems at that point. But we were confident we could do that. Like, we wanted to make sure that was an experience we could deliver on. And it was like it functioned, but it would do really weird things. Like, it had this tendency at the time to, if you did the wrong thing, that it would turn into basically a super ball and start like a tiny little super ball. The Big Daddy would go, turn to a super ball and start bouncing off the ceiling and walls like a million miles an hour. Do you remember why you did that, or what was going on?
I'm sure it was some physics bug that
And so that actually happened. Sometimes we were doing the demo, and Joe Falstick, who was the guy running the demo with me in Barcelona, was very good at making sure that he turned away from
Right.
the Big Daddy. Like, oh yeah, I guess we killed the Big Daddy. He must be dying over there. But so all things were functional, but they weren't really. They didn't have all their bells and whistles on yet. It was really good for us because it sort of gave us some confidence that people would respond to just the notion of watching Little Sister and biding your time and choosing your moment.
Well, it gave us confidence, but it also gave us a tool that the development team as a whole could gather around and say, we want to make it like this. Like, yes, a lot of elements in that demo were scripted, but they provided a framework for us to go back and how do we make that so it's not scripted? How do we make this robust enough so that the player can actually use these systems?
Yep.
So it was something that we could point to and say, all right, how are we going to do this? Like, let's break it down and let's figure it out.
And that was like in September, and actually the game was done in February, March, so we weren't that far off.
Yeah.
A lot went into it in those final months. But it was a big confidence boost for us because we thought it was the most important thing about the game, besides the world, was this sort of Big Daddy, Little Sister concept. And if people didn't care about it, it would have been a problem for us because we spent a lot of time on it.
All right. You looking to slug it out? I'm game. But I got all the Adam in the city, pal, and I ain't shy about you. But now, I'm Jane to take her out for a spin.
What is this you wait for? Go and get this idiot!
The mouse right behind me! I don't even want to see him walking!
Shine! You let him get away. Oh, I need a moment for thinking. Of course. This will be no problem. Find a Big Daddy and crouch his body. I would suggest you to be finding a dead one. You see the suit control system? So good, get it. That is step one of turning you into one of those disgusting Big Daddies. The only way to get through that door Fontaine went through is to have a little one open it for you. And they will only trust you if you look like, sound like, and even smell like one of those big stinking brutes.
Nurse!
And like a fire with a snap on his finger. Are you as good as my daddy, mister? Not if you don't visit the Gatherer's Garden, you aren't. Your daddy has a garden.
After Ryan thinks this place here is where they build their filthy golems and Frankenstein. Find the pieces of this suit. Guide the little
Hey, I don't go in for all that splicing stuff. My buddy says it's not safe. Shows you what your buddy...
Darling, it's me. It's Mama. Come out now. You're the one that took my baby. That had not be. Ishline, are you there, little child? Sweetheart, where are you? We tricked you, monster. Find a better.
You'll make terrible racket, but it's start. Now you will have need of bodysuit and helmet.
Your family? They're a fairy tale, kid. No more real than something you read about in the Saturday Evening Post. Poor bastard. A motherless freak, whipped up in a half-baked science experiment.
Fontaine is dead. Bad for Fontaine. Good for Suchong. Play hard to get for a bit. Then Mr. Ryan get hungry for me. Tenenbaum gone, Fontaine gone. Suchong only one who know all about little sisters. Like I said, it's very good for Suchong.
What can I really do for these little ones? I am tainted by sin. But you, perhaps you unlock a future for them that I cannot even imagine. A little one heads your way with a gift. Please be careful. Here is where you'll be finding the voice box to have sound like one of those big daddies. repulsive creatures.
You're playing a bad hand, kid. You're just too spliced to smell it. Roll on back to Mother Goose now, or everything's gonna go busto. two-way street. The crowd's holding audition for the Frankenstein parade, and you're first in line.
This land and the heart shall bear
One down, 2 steps to go. Now, you need only to be finding the bodysuit and the pheromones from the other labs. What you wait for? Engraved invitation.
I've done it!
I'm on your trail!
Ryan sent over extra munitions. He must have suspected trouble. I will lock them up near the Protector Labs and set the code to 1921. I don't expect we'll ever be needing them, though. Once Big Daddy is ready, nobody cross the Big Daddy.
Look around you, kid. You think 2-bit heroics count for a fig in this pit? You're staring down the puke stain of Ryan's busted dream. You think there's something worth saving down here? Then you deserve to gargle with the rest of these scrubs.
Don't be a friend of Atlas.
All the cops on me!
Fontaine showed some foresight when he built up the plasmid business. But the man really never understood science. Hiding those little girls beneath a bushel. I've just seen the preliminary design work on the new plasmid machines, and they're exactly what I wanted. Mark my words, presented properly, those little sisters are marketing gold.
Where do you think you're going? You need to become a big daddy before you are able to draw out the little ones.
Atlas is a friend of the parasite. Don't be a friend of... Question, are you a man or a slave?
We bred little ones to imprint to certain smells, pheromones. But this is not like putting on aftershave. You will need 3 industrial applications of this stuff, and then the little ones will be drawn to you like a bee to honey. You will have to gather 3 pheromones here, so that you smell disgusting, just like a big daddy.
You push me too far, kid. When you're cold and stiff, I'm gonna go over to Mother Goose's house, and I'm gonna take it apart, piece by piece, and brat by brat. Consider it your legacy.
The parasite eats 3 things. Free mind, free will, and
I were you, kid, ain't nothing here for you but tears.